This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, Monday, March 6th today. Phenomenal week. It's a big, big week.
Today was a big day.
Huge
oh my gosh.
day. There's a lot going on.
I don't know about you, I feel drained. Like I feel like we've put in a week in a few hours.
You do that, and I am so appreciative of it that we really front load our week. Like, we know we have stuff going on. Let's do it Monday and Tuesday.
I don't necessarily do that on purpose.
So we can just dog it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But, I mean, this week... I do
try to keep Friday nothing.
Yeah, Friday's got to be free.
We talked about the bare minimum Monday. We do have a name for Friday. We can't repeat it. Yeah. But it's like that on Friday.
It's an alliteration.
Like, we come in on Friday and just get through it.
Let's just have some fun today.
But doesn't everybody? So yes. But today it's been especially busy today.
We have the Sportsman Boat and RV show coming up in our fine community. If you're listening outside of the Quinte region, well worth coming in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Quinte Sports Center.
Absolutely,
we're going to be broadcasting live there on Friday. Wonderful taste of spring put on by the Cox family at Carl Cox RV. Jeff and the family have a lot of work to do between now and then to put it together. And this snow sure didn't help.
Now see, when you said that this morning, I would almost argue it because people are so done.
No, I know, but the place
so done. I realize the parking lot. I know
inch.
It sucks for the parking lot.
Yeah,
but even if they had one trailer there,
we'd all go through it.
People would be on it. They'd be like, "How can I get it? And when is it going to be here? I don't care how much it is. I want it," because I think we're so done. The kids and I had a conversation about that on the weekend. Because it's late for us to get a storm like we did over the weekend. Yeah. Usually this time of year, it's starting to melt. Carl and the guys, Jeff, have all the trailers everywhere around the CAA arena out there. It's like spring. We're starting to see bits of it. We don't get walloped with 100 feet of snow and a thunderstorm like we did over the weekend.
Yeah, weird.
But yes, I think that just put everybody over the edge, and they can't wait for Friday now.
So bring that on. Next week is the March break.
Yes.
So that's great.
Another sign of spring.
And Friday, clock change.
Saturday.
We spring forward. Saturday, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, did it change?
I do it. No, I do it Friday. This weekend, actually Sunday morning, right?
Well, yeah,
Sunday
if you want to
morning,
be technical,
2 a.m.
Yes.
But
when
we all
you go to
do
bed
Saturday night.
Yeah,
we lose the hour, so it's the shortest weekend of the year.
But it means, like, what time was it when we saw the sun this morning?
Okay, so it's going to be later for darkness
in the morning,
right?
But in the afternoon,
it's going to be light till after like 7:15.
Because it's been
Monday.
Like 6:30 and still light out. So next
the
week
extra hour, 7:30. Oh, it's so great.
And it'll happen in the morning. It'll happen.
Because it's been nice. That's a great trade-off. Nice. So all that's going. Today also begins violence awareness and random acts of kindness. And from some very tragic violence of some 27 years ago, 1996.
It's incredible. It's been
the death of Mark Fike and his mother, Chris McDonald, and her family and friends got together and wanted to bring goodness out of tragedy. And thus was born Violence Awareness and Random Act of Kindness. You'll see the blue ribbons. And Chris was on the show this morning. I saw the blue ribbons up around town already. We are right into it. Violence Awareness, Random Acts of Kindness Week. Of course, you began many, many years ago. But it's really good to get it back in the schools, right? Kids are a big part of this.
Oh, kids certainly are. We wondered how, because we're not having, our opening ceremonies, we've had to scale that back for the last couple of years, and we wondered how could we still present the kids with their awards for the fantastic job they're doing with their artwork, which is, by the way, up on the pillars in Kindness Court at the Quinte Mall. There's some awesome artwork up there. So we decided that we could just send the students their awards directly to the school because we were no longer having the opening ceremonies.
Right. All right. Well, very nice on that. There are also different days throughout the week. Are you be able to get the kindness cruise out tomorrow?
We will, and it looks like we're going to have good weather, so that's always good. We'll be going around to different businesses and organizations within the Quinte community and Prince Edward County communities, and just dropping off kindness and brightening up people's days.
And part of the week as well is the Kindness Citizen of the Year Award. How can people get involved in that, or how can they nominate people, Chris?
Oh, actually, we have an online ballot this year, which is really great. We're very thankful for the intel that they have a ballot which has been appearing in different local papers for the last few weeks. But we also have an online ballot which can be accessed through the Quinte Mall website or through our website, www.varac.ca.
Chris McDonald joining us this morning. Violence awareness, random acts of kindness, always a big time here in March. Blue Ribbon of Hope Day, of course. It's all surrounding the blue ribbon. Where can people get those?
The ribbons are available at different businesses throughout the area, and definitely in the food court at the Quinte Mall. And if you don't have a ribbon, you can always wear blue that day.
Perfect. So it's very important to remember, of course, all year round, but this week, the smallest acts of kindness can make the greatest difference.
It certainly can. You never know what someone's going through, and I've heard examples from a lot of people that said, you don't know the difference that made in my day. I was having such a bad day.
Yeah.
So it's always great just to make that positive difference.
Get your blue ribbon. Make a difference certainly this week for Blue Ribbon of Hope Day as well, and get those ballots in too for the Kindest Citizen of the Year. And Chris, I know from such tragedy came this wonderful week, so we continue to thank you for all of your efforts, for all you've done for the community throughout this past 25 to almost 30 years. So thank you so much for everything you've done.
Oh, and thank you.
As you pointed out, what a wonderful week. Like, this really has become a week to celebrate our neighbors, our community, to be kind to one another. And as I said, not that we shouldn't do it every day,
right,
but to really highlight it this week and to see it come out of such a tragedy.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, and we didn't get into it this morning, of course. It's not our story. It's not ours to share. But I do remember when that happened, and to think that it's been that long.
Yeah.
That long, because there was also Rebecca as well.
That's right.
Around the same time. And
within months.
Yeah. It was very tragic. So to have this come out of that, it is amazing. It really is, truly is.
And to share that publicly all the time, Chris.
Exactly.
Kudos. Thank you very much for that. Also on the show, Melanie Cressman, the new incoming executive director for the Children's Foundation. The Royal Ball Gala was on Saturday night. And there are going to be a few people phoning in sick, I think, today, who were there Saturday, who, according to Melanie, might still be there.
They tried their best to encourage them to go home.
It's time to leave. The galas, I know we've waited a long time.
What's the song? The You Can't Stay Here. Closing time.
Closing time. Yeah, you got to go back to where you're from.
Yeah.
Got to get out of here.
Don't care where you go, but you can't stay here. You got to go.
Fundraiser, a lot of fun. Melanie on the show this morning.
The Monday after the gala. My goodness. So Mark and I were talking about it this morning a little bit right off the hop. Woo! What a night, Melanie.
What a night. What a night. I'm still just, I keep having little flashbacks, and it's almost dreamlike for me. You know, my first big event with the foundation, and I'm just blown away. Just blown away by it.
Incredible.
Of course, we won't get all the dollars in, but it was pretty darn successful on helping a lot of the kids. First of all, let's start out with the fact it was sold out with a packed room.
It sure was. You know, it always is amazing when you put all of the people in the space that you've been envisioning empty, you know, like through all the planning and setting tables and getting set up. And then once people start filling the room, it just comes to life. And what a beautiful venue for that kind of event.
Heroes Landing. Yeah. So good. Alicia Camp was a guardian angel. She packed the place really well. I mean, who doesn't love everything she's done?
Wow, you know, and Alicia's a new friend to me, and of course not a new friend, a very treasured friend to the foundation for many, many years. And what grace and what just presence she has, you know, in the community. She just got the accolations that she certainly deserves.
Now, even though the gala was Saturday night, the auction's still going on, correct, Melanie?
It's true. So we actually don't wrap up the official gala until 9 o'clock this evening. So that silent auction is still up on our website. If you go right to the website and you don't have a direct link, you just have to hit the events tab, and you'll find it right there. We're doing really, really well. There's 100 items on there, sponsors from all over the community, and it's just it's going really well. And if we could just push that just a little bit harder, we're already in sort of record-breaking mode, but we're really going to be able to hit a pivotal milestone with this event if we can just, without revealing too much, Mark.
Right.
I want to just let the community know that if you can just hop on that site and find something, there's something for everybody on there. Yeah.
You can tell me, though. I keep secrets.
No.
Just whisper it to us, Melanie. We won't tell anybody.
And what was the
But
final...
you know what? You'll know first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay,
Perfect.
Promise? Okay, good. And what was the final figure for Fund to Need?
You know what? Fund to Need, Mark? Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
We tapped $120,000.
120. Wow.
That's amazing.
And how much time did we take on that, Mark? Maybe 10 minutes?
I said by the time Ed and Fran Leighton raised their hand at $10,000, I think it wasn't more than 120 seconds.
Exactly.
I mean, I always do the pitter-patter with Sam Brady about how it's not charity, it's an investment in the children. And there aren't many investments that have guaranteed rates of return, but this one does. You invest in a child, guaranteed return on investment.
That's right. And just a really quick, I just really want to make sure I get this in, Mark and Charity, is that Sam and Ian from CIBC, Wood Gundry, Brady Clark Advisory Group, they were the title sponsors of this event, and we just can't thank them enough for all of their support, not just at this event, but through the year.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So good. All right.
So I got to know, too, what time did you shut her down, Melanie?
Charity, we had to turn the lights on and kick people off the dance floor it was after 1 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a long winter, Melanie.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And I'm not talking a few on the dance floor. I'm talking a full dance floor.
Yeah.
Because I saw some of the pictures on social media, and after talking to Mark, it looked like so much fun. And I imagine once you get that room filled and those people in all together, you do want to celebrate, of course. It is a night to celebrate.
100%. And it was just the perfect combination of philanthropy, fun, a group of community, the entire room filled with people that are invested in our youth and invested in the future of the youth. And a lot of really, really good work is going to get done as a result of that event. So we're just thrilled.
Awesome.
Okay, so a few hours remain now for the auction. Get on the childrensfoundation.ca. Click on that. Bid those items up into record territory. We're looking forward to that big number tomorrow morning.
Can't wait.
Melanie Cressman, new executive director. Look at the life she's breathed into this.
Amazing.
Coming out of the pandemic.
Good job.
And on a roll.
Oh,
Yay.
wow. We've got a really strong group behind us that are making me look really good right now. So thank you to everybody.
You go add that all up, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, Melanie.
Okay, thanks for the call, guys.
And kudos to you, Mark. Kudos to everyone who was there on Saturday.
Yeah,
but kudos to you, because we talked about it last week. You were there as part of the Fund in Need. You were kind of, I don't want to say, you were running it. Is that fair to say? You were up there encouraging people to donate. That was my portion.
Can I use a Charity Brownism?
By all means.
I brought the show.
You brought? Is that a Charity Brownism?
Yeah, when you say you're gonna bring a show, right? Isn't that your line? Are you gonna show up?
Yes, I want a show. I expect a show.
Yeah.
So you brought the show?
I brought the show.
Of course
you did. And then $120,000.
Yeah, right?
Which is
you got to feel good about that. Good for you. I could not do that.
Here's how it starts. Yes, you could.
No, I couldn't. And so, Mark, just a sec. Just take a moment, please, because a lot of people couldn't do that. So good for you. That's amazing.
Thanks. Ed and Fran Leighton, Past Angels. You'll see their face of donations all over the hospital as well. So many organizations. They started with $10,000. Ross McDougall and Ed had told me after that Ross wasn't sure how much he was going to give, but when he heard about Ed, he was like, yeah. So again, remember I talked about how you get the people in the room.
You have a few people picked out, and you're like, okay, how much?
Philanthropy begats philanthropy, and you begin to do it.
So if they're doing it, he's going to do it, maybe even do more.
Yeah.
And then it just snowballs.
Or at least, I thought I was going to do this much, but if you're going to do that much, I'll do that much. So, because I know you're going to get.
Now, is Ross McDougall a Past Angel as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
It was one of the first ones in the first 5 to 7 years. Yeah, for sure. And then Alicia Camp, who is the guardian angel this year, she stands up and does $10,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Before I've even worn off the leather on my shoes, we're at $30,000.
Now, do they really stand up?
They didn't have
do they
to,
raise?
Because we have a card.
Okay.
You have a donation card.
I wasn't sure if everybody kind of jumped up and said, me.
We used to do that. We used to do paddles and paddle numbers, but now they collected cards that you would fill out and you would check off one of the little bubbles that started at $10,000, worked its way down to $100. I mean, Travis from Pace and Transfer, he did $7,500. Also bid $1,000 on a bottle of Dom Perignon. So he's got too much money in his pocket. So give it to the kids. And Alicia Camp, who's a lawyer, she did two of the best things in her speech. Among many, because she had a brilliant speech about giving back. One, she didn't talk about it as charity. She talked about it as investments, which is what my talk was. So she stole my words. Because Sam Brady and Ian Clark of CIBC Wood Gundy were the title sponsors. So, of course, I want to work it into them about investing in our children. Yeah. So tie it into them and investing. So that was great. She set that up. But she said, let me tell you about something about the way we look after the children in our community. Spend it now, because when you die, if there's anything left over, the lawyers get it all. Think about it, right? It's Your family's just going to fight, and the lawyers are going to get it. So why not give it to the children? And it was sort of like, that's brilliant. I'm going to use that next year so it doesn't look like I'm ripping her off. I'm going to tuck that one away.
I'm going to store
for the next time. But I did say to Liz Leighton, who was the chair, and I said, "What do you think? How much?" And she did one of those, and because I know nobody wants to put pressure on. It's like, do you think you could do 100,000? I said, I have 100,000 in my head. She's like, oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So that was their expectation.
Yeah.
And then you blew it out of the water.
But that's the thing. It's like, if we say 100, is that too much pressure? Should we say 75 and be good?
Yeah.
So 120.
That's amazing.
If you say 75, you get 80. If you say 100, you get 120. And you think $40,000 doesn't sound like a lot to kids?
It's a lot of money.
We're a $50 gift card on the Reaching for Success bursary, or $100 to a 6-year-old to go to, I don't know,
it's incredible.
Wherever. Oh, my gosh. To say somebody, these children who, through no fault of their own, are behind the 8 ball being born. And now, not only is it something financial, there are people that want to mentor them, people there who believe in them. Well, that's what that's all about.
That's wonderful. $120,000, $10,000 here, $10,000. It's all wonderful. But let's not forget to. Every little bit counts. Like you mentioned the $50 gift card, the $100. So even if you weren't there Saturday and you weren't able to donate through the Fund of Need, the silent auction, which is still up until midnight tonight, has some wonderful items. 9 o'clock tonight. Has some wonderful items to bid on. So you can do it that way, or you can make a donation, because as you said, these kids, every little bit helps.
Yeah,
it really does. And it can make such a huge difference just to know someone cares enough that, hey, you know what, here's a gift card, or here, let me send you to camp, or here, let me help you with this event, or here, do you need any sort of acknowledgement can go so far and give them that extra boost they need.
You invest in the potential of a child that then gets their potential fulfilled throughout their life through no fault of their own.
And that's what you keep coming back to, and I love it, and I keep hearing it. It's no fault of their own. A child has not done this to them. They didn't create this situation.
Yeah, we all believe in second chances anyway, but this lovely little 6, 7-year-old who starts to realize that I don't have what everybody else has.
Just a backpack, the backpack program, just to start the school off.
I don't have anybody who's telling me that I can do whatever I want, so I guess I can't do it. Like, who wants that in their head at the age of 7?
No.
That I'll never amount to anything. Because I used to say early on, one day somebody's going to cure cancer. Who thinks it's only going to be a rich kid? Mm-hmm. You don't know who it is. You don't know who somewhere along the line somebody gave a break to and something phenomenal happened.
Well, and were stories not shared Saturday as well from some of the kids that have succeeded from the help that this community has shown them?
Nobody walks out with any money in their wallet after that, because it's like, how would you?
Of course not.
How would you? So it's so good. So Melanie, thank you for
well done.
You're very nice, and we'll get some final figures on the Gala pretty soon in the auction.
She said tomorrow. I really hope when we come in tomorrow, the press release is there.
Yeah, she'll learn, right? Oh. She'll learn that if it isn't there, and we phone her at 4:30 a.m., she'll learn.
Melanie, you said this morning, so
when
we're just
checking in. Tomorrow morning, I mean after 9, guys.
No.
To us, that's Wednesday, because that means Tuesday's show's over.
Exactly.
Tomorrow ends at 9 a.m. for us, and then it's a whole other day after that. We're prepping Wednesday at that point. So if you say tomorrow,
It was really great to speak with her. What were any other? Like I know the event itself had lots of highlights, but what were some of the things that you were happy to see? Because she touched on the fact that the atmosphere was really great. People were just happy to be there and happy for the event and happy to help and happy.
Because
so what did you take away?
Bad timing. Last year was held on the Father's Day weekend for Bernie Willett, who's a great guy. I wish he'd have been there. But I had already booked a weekend away with my wife, so I couldn't do that last year. And so I felt badly about it. But even then, I guess it was, kind of sort of out of COVID, right? Like it was
still some hesitancy from people, some caution.
Full on celebration Saturday night, full on, and not that people weren't cautious about it. You could still see people weren't standing together face to face, but it was just to see each other again. It used to always be so much fun anyway because it's always the first weekend in March, so winter's over. Right, we always kind of had that. Or
it's like coming out of hibernation.
Yeah, or some people, something. Of the wealthy and the older, who are down south, are home now. They would come. So it's a chance to catch up with everybody. There was always that expectation, and the hospital gala that's always in the fall was always celebrating great summer. And now kids are back in school, so we're all together again. So same thing. It was always that coming together. There was always that atmosphere. But not having done it for about 3 or 4 years, just really maxed it out, and then to do 120 on Fun to Need. And the other thing is because there was no live auction. And those make money as well. Now, not as much as you think, because Boyd really works it. So if it had made, say, $40,000 on the auction, well, sometimes some of that had to be paid for. It wasn't all completely donated. Yeah. No, but even like you hear 40,000, that's how much came in. But by the time you sort of get stuff, maybe the auction made 25,000. There's so much work on that.
Yeah.
And so then if I make 70,000 on Fund to Need, that's great. And they came to the answer is, what if we just don't? So just concentrate on Fund to Need.
And have it online. People can bid online later. And, and just focus on the night.
There's no way we'd have made 120 if the Ross McDougals, Ed Leighton, bid on auction items.
Yeah.
There's the money.
Exactly.
And not all that 10,000 might have gone in.
It's all going to the same place.
Sure.
But
But you want to maximize it. And so, and they even said, we're kind of breaking rules, everybody. We're not going to do an auction. So can you help us more with Fund to Need? And everybody went, yep, where do I sign? So then they moved, like say, 100 items into the silent auction.
Well, and this, I don't want this to sound like a knock, but as opposed to maybe bidding on something that, yes, you like and want, but at the same time, as I said, the money's all going to the same place.
Sure, yeah.
So as opposed to just maybe throwing money onto things that, it's nice if I get that, but...
Right, or...
Here's the money. I'll just give you the money.
Well, I'll bid because it should be worth more than that. I'll take it. But I really just want to give you my money.
Exactly.
And I mean, I'll sit and watch Boyd Sullivan do an auction all day long.
Oh, me too.
Which is just amazing. But at the end of the day, how can we maximize the donations? People have just said, if you want to put it online and have less talk in the evening and more dancing and more fundraising, sure, let's do that. So they crossed their fingers and hoped that was true, and it was.
Exactly. And the silent auction is doing amazing, as we heard from Melanie there, too. I, again, want to see the total because... She says record-breaking.
We'll find out how much.
And I did. I checked out, like, the police chief is now up to over $525.
The hot air balloon over, that's got to be closer to...
The fireworks, close to $900. It's closing in on $900.
Yeah.
And those are just a few of the 100 items that are on there. So it's doing
really 100
well.
items all went for $100. That's $10,000. And so many of them on there are worth more than that, like the police chief against $500. So, okay, let's get it up. Let's get everything in that mid-range.
How do you put a price on that, really?
Can't.
Being chief for a day? How do you put your...
I'm not even going to talk about it anymore because I'm getting tasered, according to the police chief.
It's wonderful because I see there's two. I was looking at it today. Unfortunately, Chris, you need to bump it up. Maybe he's waiting until tonight.
Yeah.
And getting that last bid in. Exactly. And then he'll get his bid in. But I was thinking, okay, that's great. We still got to get you in there somehow.
What?
As chief.
For the day?
I'm intrigued by this.
We'll figure it out. We're going to be broadcasting there, by the way, during Police Week at the brand new, because...
Coming up this spring.
Here's what we don't know is I plan to get arrested. And
And then I will bring the equipment and we'll
then
just
you'll bail me, or you'll be outside the cell, I'll be inside the cell.
I don't want to know. Don't tell me anything more because I don't want to be a part of it. I will I will play along.
Charity is an accessory after the fact. I watch crime dramas. I know what that means. She's an accessory
I've seen Law and Order.
After the fact.
I know what's going to happen.
She helped me to bury the evidence. Oh my gosh, it went off the rails. Hey everybody, it's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast.
I'm just glad you're here today.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're back today.
Thank you for all of the fine wishes on my 60th birthday on Friday. Yes, I did.
Okay,
it was amazingly over top. You're a huge part of that. Thank you, thank you.
Thank
you. My wife worked on it for weeks.
She did really well.
That's amazing that she keep it so quiet because I am.
You're awful. As I learned last week, you're horrible.
I am extremely observant and I'm arrogant about it. So if I spot something, I'm going to tell you, I think I know what's up and I think I know it. Instead of just being quiet and enjoy it. Yeah, I just know.
Well, you do. Once everybody caves to it, you're like, okay. And then you do enjoy it. I would say you do.
I did.
But you're like a dog with a bone. It's like, geez, Mark. And you just know. And I don't know how, even your daughter, we were talking about it because you've done it to her more times than obviously me.
Yeah.
It's amazing. She goes, I don't know. He just knows. He just knows. I'm like, it's ridiculous.
Part intuition, mostly just very good observation. And I can tell when things are out of place and things are being done.
Heaven forbid anything physically is out of place because Mark won't let it go.
Because it's a little bit of an OCD-ness.
Okay, there was a dinner too. When did you know about that?
When I walked in. I knew we were going out for dinner, and I thought it was just Al and Darlene.
Okay.
And my kids.
You didn't suspect when your kids weren't with you?
No, because apparently our daughter went to go pick up our son, so that we didn't have to go because Kath wasn't ready. Okay.
And that didn't trigger anything?
A little bit, but
that's what.
But I had no reason otherwise to say, oh, who's there? How many people are there? Did I know you were going to be there? No.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Because you kept making comments.
I really thought if there was going to be anybody, it was going to be after dinner when we came home. They were using the dinner
to get you out of the house.
To get me out of the house and then ransack my place. Go through my bar.
Chivalry it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I was just curious. I had to ask. Okay. Sorry.
But that's the way it went, everybody. Full podcast today.
But
thank you for that. Tomorrow is part of Random Acts of Kindness. It is the Kindness Crews are going to get out and about, dropping off treats tomorrow, courtesy of the Quinte Mall, as always, sponsored by them. So that's going to be going on tomorrow. We'll have a Text In Tuesday with Galaxy of Games. I don't know if we have anything for that yet, but we'll prep that. We're all just lucky to be back.
You're looking at me like I should know. If you don't know. I don't have it in front of me here, so I can't see it. You got to switch screens so I can see.
I don't know. Get your birthdays in and lots more tomorrow with Mark and Charity Morning Show on 95.5. Have a great day.